Nervous faces, intense concentration, the prelude to a countdown to history.
10, 9,
Scientists had been working towards this for the last 13 years. At 5:15 on November the 9th, they got it.
2, 1, 0.
Fusion, creating energy by smashing atoms together, and the life's work for most of the 450 scientists from all over Europe working on the JET project at Cullen.
It's taken 35 years to get a smile like this. Yes.
Oh, tremendous. I've been here 18 years and this is what we've been waiting for.
The relief was tangible, followed by urgent calls to waiting spouses.
And we got nearly twice what we aimed for.
Those who fancied a flutter had started a sweepstake on just how successful it would be. Nuclear fusion is the energy powering the sun. The JET scientists aim to reproduce it by taking hydrogen from limitless supplies available in water. It takes place in a donut-shaped device called a torus. Two types of atom are driven together, deuterium and radioactive tritium, at 200 million degrees centigrade. That fuses the atoms and leaves some bits left over. It's those particles, or neutrons, the snow-like flashes from JET's remote camera, which generate the energy.
This is the first attempt with real fusion fuels. It's the first time we've tried it. It worked first time. That's a tremendous achievement. We're now ready to carry on with the program that we had planned to a more prolonged generation of rather more fusion power.
It was a European project, but scientists from all over the world came to witness the historic breakthrough.
It was a very exciting moment. We do similar research there in San Diego, and of course we're not prepared to use tritium in our experiment, so we're very excited to see the first fusion power really generated in one of these devices.
The JET project was started in 1978 when scientists from all over Europe came together. But there's a long way to go. The experiment produced enough energy to power 17,000 electric kettles for just under a second, but it took nearly 10 times that amount to create it.
We're not claiming that we're going to reduce your electricity bills with this experiment, and indeed that was not the aim of JET at all. The aim of JET is to show scientifically and technically how we progress forward.
For now, the taste of success still lingers, and it may continue at Cullen. It's been announced that a fusion reactor is to be built at a cost of £2.8 billion because of the weekend's success, and Cullen is a prime candidate for the operation.
The news from ITN.
Ridley says vote Labour if necessary to stop pro-European Tories. Forcible repatriation for Hong Kong boat people begins. Neo-Nazis march on anniversary of opening of the Berlin Wall. And historic breakthrough as scientists capture the power of the sun. Good evening. Divisions in the Conservative Party have previously been daubed with Protestant graffiti. Scientists in Oxfordshire claimed tonight they'd produced an historic nuclear reaction that could eventually produce endless pollution-free energy. It's the first time nuclear fusion, the power source that drives the sun, has been recreated in a laboratory.
10, 9, 8.
You could smell the tension in the Cullen laboratory as 0 hour loomed.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Then a remote camera in the fusion chamber itself showed them success. For the first time, they'd managed to mimic the sun's energy processes, using radioactive tritium, a kind of hydrogen, as a fuel. At the heart of Cullen is this machine, a tokamak, that uses superconducting magnets to hold and tame fusion energy. So far, they've used ordinary hydrogen as fuel. They say it's like using damp grass to light a campfire. But today, they moved on to tritium, like adding paraffin, and it worked superbly.
At the moment, there are a couple of hundred very happy scientists in this control room. It's just after 5:30, and they know they've made history.
For the first time, we've operated with a real fusion fuel. And for the first time, we've produced fusion power in excess of 1 megawatt. I think by anybody's standards, that's a real milestone on the road to fusion. For us, it's a tremendous encouragement. Personally, I've been 35 years coming to this point. I'm very pleased to be here.
They held a sweepstake for how much power would be produced. In a way, everybody won. Don't hold your breath waiting for practical fusion power stations. They're 50 years away. Lawrence McGinty, ITN, Culham.
Yves Montand, the French
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Here we go.
It's the best shot all day. You replay the cameras at least.
So why don't we get the
Energy is the key thing.
We see the 14 in
Yeah. Excuse me.
100 PN.
What's the count on the...
100 PN. How much is it still? All gone ready.
That's 610 to 17.
We have the Bluma 5315.
That's good.
Oh, well, that's the count of the
The first time you are happy for something not working.
So we won't know.
And 9 megajoules, it's tremendous.
So it must be more than, no, would not be very good.
Predicted more than that. That's right. Get the Bluma 53.
But when you do, look this way.
So the wiring probably is worse. Well, it's tidied up. Okay, this is...
And it's not 2,400, it's 2,401.
It's good.
This is an extremely good pulse. We have something of the order of 1.7 megawatts of power for a period of time which is approaching a second, so we regard that as being a great success. We have the opportunity to do another pulse, and we're considering whether we might do that and perhaps improve somewhat on this performance.
So this has been something of a success.
All this is a great success, It's up to our best expectations, so we're very pleased with it.
You've got a rather controlled smile on your face.
Yes, right, absolutely.
Tom Karlstrom, you were over here from San Diego as an observer. How did you react when you saw what was happening?
Well, it was a very exciting moment. We do similar research there in San Diego, and of course we're not prepared to use tritium in our experiment, so we're very excited to see the first fusion power really generated in one of these devices. It gives us a big surge of confidence we're on the right track.
What do you use if not tritium?
We just use deuterium, and we're an experimental device.
And why aren't you using tritium?
Well, it requires a lot more shielding, radiation shielding and handling technology. And our device is more or less experimental to try different aspects of plasma formation and heating. And so we have a lot greater flexibility if we don't have to deal with all the radiation shielding required when you use tritium.